Hello there YouTube, my name is Katy and you're watching my channel Superconsole, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about whether or not you can learn Japanese through video games. Okay then, first of all, big question. Short answer, no. No you can't. You can't just pick up a DS game and magically be able to read it. That's not going to happen. But the slightly longer and better answer, I think, is that yes, if you are intermediate to advanced kind of level Japanese learner, I'd consider myself kind of intermediate at the moment, then I definitely think playing video games is a great tool for supplementing your studies, and even putting on kind of like subtitles or anything like that and kind of immersing yourself in language and hearing it and reading it more often, that's going to be great for your studies. And I can't kind of recommend enough how just doing exercises or attending lessons isn't enough with Japanese. You need to fully immerse yourself if you want to learn this language. Okay, so what if you're a beginner and you know a bit of vocab but you're not really up to scratch on your kanji or grammar or anything like that, you just want to get a bit of practice in? Well, I would highly suggest then getting some games with dual Japanese language options for audio in any case, which means games like Final Fantasy or other JRPGs where you can listen to the Japanese audio but read the English subtitles.
最後かもしれないだろう。だから全部話しておきたいんだ。
Now, this is really helpful for kind of learning correct pronunciation and intonation and kind of just engaging your brain in the Japanese language. I know it sounds silly, but after hearing kind of the same phrases or, you know, words over and over again, it really does help kind of embed them in your mind. But I would say don't become too overly reliant on the subtitles. At some point you start weaning yourself off, turn those off completely and start playing proper Japanese games. Okay, so maybe now you're at my stage, you're intermediate, you kind of done a lot of work and study with your Genki textbooks and your ANKI cards, and now you think you're ready to play games actually in Japanese. Well, there are two consoles which will soon become your best friends, both of which are handheld. One is the PlayStation Vita, which is completely region free and is of course supported by a lot of Japanese devs. And the second one is the Nintendo 3DS or 2DS, which is region locked, which means that if you want to play any Japanese games on these, you are of course going to need to buy a Japanese 3DS from Japan, not your English one or your American one. So if that is the case and you're thinking about buying a Japanese 3DS, I did make a video on this some time ago, put the link here, and it's kind of got a helpful kind of guide to sourcing one yourself and getting around any kind of questions you have with that. So regardless of what platform you're playing on, be it PS Vita, 3DS or Steam maybe, it doesn't matter what you're playing as long as it has possibly some furigana to be helpful, but there's a kind of good process to learning and actually getting through the game properly and taking something away from it, because it's all very easy to kind of read a game like, alright, maybe you're playing Pokemon Red, you know this game back to front. You could recite Oak's speech at the beginning, like with your eyes shut, anytime. You know, you don't actually need to understand the words in front of you to know what's going on and how to play the game. That's the problem, which is why it's good to play new games that you don't understand the mechanics for, because then you really rely on your own skills to kind of read and then play it properly without kind of missing out on any of the action. Okay, so here's the way I go about it. Right now I'm playing Yokai Watch Sangokushi. So I obviously have my Japanese 2DS and I sit there and I've got this, I have a notebook, and I also have my phone, which on it I've got an Android, and it has an app called Jisho. It's literally just called Jisho. You look it up in the store, it's free. And it's also Jisho is offline, so it means you can play on the train. Really important, really important. So I'm sitting there and I read every single sentence out loud. It doesn't matter if it's like a warning sign at the beginning or a menu option, it doesn't matter. I read everything aloud. If there's anything I can't understand, I look up the word on Jisho, which has an English and a Japanese dictionary and shows you conjugation, onyomi, kunyomi readings. It's really helpful. And then I write down the kanji, the meaning, and you know, the hiragana kind of pronunciation in my notebook. So this is from playing Sangokushi for a couple of days. Quite a few words, like, okay, here's an example of a word that I didn't know. I've got the word for tatakai, which means battle. And that's a word that comes up a lot in video games, but not a lot in the classroom. Doing this is a really good way of kind of taking in new vocab and actually learning it, reinforcing it in your mind, because, you know, once you've got this list, it's what you do with it which is important. And what I do with it is I write it onto flashcards, and then I kind of, when I'm having breakfast or maybe when I'm on the train, flick through them and just try and memorise them and see how many I know. I think the most critical thing here is the speaking out loud and having that audio option on, you know, on full should there be any cutscenes, because I don't know about you, but in the classroom I don't actually get that many opportunities to speak Japanese out loud. I do a lot of reading and writing exercises, might even do a few listening tests, but speaking I only kind of do the odd phrase or answer a question. I'm not kind of doing long speaking segments. And I think that's one of the problems. It's one of the things that holds me back a lot from progressing. So it doesn't matter where you are or how crazy people might think you are for reading out loud in Japanese playing a video game, just do it, alright? It'll help you so much in the long run. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. I'd be really interested to know if you're keen on learning a bit more about Japanese and learning Japanese through video games in particular. I, of course, would love to integrate it more because it just helps me revise at the same time, really handy. But also because I think spreading the joy of language through another medium is pretty cool. So if you're interested in learning Japanese yourself, are you beginner, intermediate, whatever, and you're keen on seeing more Japanese gaming content, let me know. And make sure to hit like on this video and share it with the world if you can. That'd be really lovely, and I'll see you next time. Bye!